Again, for everyone who's with us, this is Ben and Barry on football. We've just finished presenting the Bias Plus, Pro Football Bias Plus reports for this coming week of football. And, last week was absolutely bananas, Ben. So I'm going to try to share our page real quick if I can find it. Ah, there it is. Okay, here we go. So last week was so crazy. I want to jump to this right here. One of my heroes here is Cynthia Freeland, right? Running 30,000 simulations, in order to come up with her picks. And she said, it's been a rough weekend for game predictions. But you got to stay true to the process. And so that's what we're doing at Ben and Barry on football at the Sterling Net Point Power Rankings and the Bias Plus Report. We're going to stay true to the process, although I was below 50% last week. We were somewhere down in the 40s.
I was too. I was too.
You also?
But unlike the other week when I think I was right at 50% and I said that I was embarrassed. I'm not going to say that I'm embarrassed this time. I think there's a lot of there were a couple of wins that I didn't even consider the games to be close, and I was completely wrong about who I was picking, and these were schematic wins. They were schematic wins, and in the case of the Broncos-Cowboys game, perfect game plan and the perfect field position, time of possession game. Denver killed Dallas in time of possession in that game. I have the notes somewhere. I could give you the numbers of minutes that they possessed the ball, but it was far and away over the time that Dallas actually possessed the ball. So again, even when you don't score, you punt, then you hold, then they punt, then you see what I'm saying? And you go from here to here to here. Each possession starts to add up. And then when you run the ball effectively and score at the end, be it a touchdown or a field goal, you're going to rule the time of possession. So you're going to use field position to help you rule time of possession. And as long as you can cash it in with points on the board, you have a real good chance of winning that game, unless your defense is just out there, waving by as the guys go by them, which obviously Denver did not. That was a classic, well-coached, well-schemed up game. So I can't be mad. I'm pretty sure I picked Dallas. I can't be mad at that one.
No, I talked to you about turnovers and what, how to kind of value them relative to, the amount of yardage. I had like 400 yards in production, but I had like 3 turnovers. You know what I mean? I wound up winning by 3, but because of what you were saying, field position generally wasn't in my favor. The kicking game was killing me. It was pinning me down deep. But running the ball, like you said, time of possession, you know what I mean? Keeping it out of their hands and then ending up with something, a field goal or touchdown, something. Right. You know what I mean? Some coach once said, as long as we end with a kick, that's all we should be ending.
Yeah, one for 3 or for 1, you're in good shape.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All right. Next up, Benny, let's take a quick look. Ben, I shared this. I already said that I probably will be calling him Aaron Liar Liar Pants on Fire Rodgers for the rest of the season. But the reason I shared this is this was shared by NFL UK. So sometimes you don't think, your actions, I don't know how far he thinks this stuff will go, but the NFL is on an mission to become international. So your words now have international reach. And NFL UK, maybe he could get some tips from Cole Beasley on how to handle his unpopular decision with a spine. Liar, liar. You know?
I agree. I
Talking
agree.
about anyone who felt misled. Come on, man. You're still not being truthful. You're still not standing up. So it is interesting, though, that he was looking at this character situation, but he is still a magnificent football quarterback. He's still a magnificent quarterback. And, you know, I actually tweeted to the NFL, wanted to know what the penalties were for falsely representing your vaccination status and for, acting out of protocol. So we saw that the Packers, I think, got a $300,000 fine. Him and Lazard got like $14,000, $15,000, $16,000, something like that, which is a drop in the bucket. You know, I'm thinking he should have been suspended. But you know, that doesn't look like it's going to happen. All right.
I don't. So his statement was, I made some comments that people might have felt were misleading. So at the time that he made the comments, I think there were some people who might have felt that they were misleading. Like, that's funny. Why did he say immunized instead of vaccinated? It actually got by me. I think he just wanted to be like, you know, people are always saying Aaron Rodgers is always trying to be the smartest guy in the room. I thought he just wanted to mix and throw some words around, and he was just being Aaron Rodgers. Now that it turns out that he, in fact, was definitely being misleading, you're right. I think that penalty is kind of small, especially for something that they're supposed to be taken really seriously. That's kind of crazy, and he feels bad now, probably because he's been getting beat up on Twitter, and you know funny story I heard about his girlfriend. I think his girlfriend said something to him too. She backs him all the time. But I think she might have said to him, you know, you were gonna, you know. So he comes out with a statement like this. Here's a funny story. So supposedly he was supposed to be home quarantining, which it turns out he actually was. Did you hear this story? Somebody
reported, person they thought was him?
Yes, somebody saw somebody they thought was him, reported that it was him, and had pictures of him. And to make a long story short, his girlfriend said, there's no way that was him. First of all, the guy's feet were too small. Aaron Rodgers has the most hair on his hands and arms in the freaking world. And he would never be caught dead driving a car like that. So okay. I don't even know what kind of car it was. All I'm saying is, she's like, I know my man. He got really big feet. He got really hairy hands and arms, and he would not drive a car like that. So yeah, he's home. He's not in California.
Well, I said that tweet in the context of having read a few articles that in corporate America, apparently employees were turning in fraudulent vaccination cards, fake vaccination cards. And when they were being found out, they were being fired. Okay? Not suspended, not, you know, and that kind of stuff. They were being dropped, bam, you know what I mean? So I just thought it's interesting with that as a backdrop to see what kind of penalty he's going to get here. And there is some pushback on this penalty from other NFL owners.
Oh my goodness.
They're saying, hey, wait a minute. Yeah, this is what penalty, which penalty book are you using? Because this ain't the penalty book you were using on us. So just keep your ear to the ground. The thing ain't over yet. All right. Ah, yes. Any last words, Mr. Dickerson? I just have the thanks for following. Please leave comments and suggestions. Hashtag football is life. That is our saying. And I'm trying to think, was there any last thing I wanted to mention, but I'll give you a chance to, did you have any other things that you wanted to share or talk about?
I don't know how relevant this is to anything, but Dalvin Cook might be getting himself into a little bit of hot water here. I saw a report by Adam Schefter in reference to him kind of being held hostage in his own home by some woman who's in the military. And he and another woman were held at gunpoint or something and tortured, not tortured, but made to stay in the home and were abused in some sort of way. And the first thing I thought was, okay, old girlfriend, mad, catches him at home with new girlfriend and freaks out. Turns out he may have done the same thing to her at some point previous. And they put out that blurb about her doing something to him, and Adam Schefter reported it, and they think it's because Dalvin Cook and his people were trying to get out ahead of the original story. So now the whole thing's starting to come out now. That's going to be interesting to see.
Wow.
We'll see what happens.
Drama across the NFL. This was the last thing I wanted to mention real quick. XFL hit the news. You know, some leagues just don't die. They keep coming back. But apparently they've gone on a hiring spree, hiring a former Buffalo Bills CEO, Russ Brandon, and a number of other NFL executives. Who was it that I read is on this? The Rock or somebody is big behind this XFL?
Yeah, I think The Rock and I think Vince McMahon, they have money. These people have money. As long as they have money and they're determined to do this, they're going to keep at it until they get it right. So this is the next step. They're going to throw some money around and get more NFL people or ex-NFL people into, you know, their group to try to make this an actually valid league. So, I mean, that's a good thing. I can't watch too much football, you know, it's impossible. So that's fine with me, but I want to see a good product. You know, I don't want it to be a minor league, although, you know, if they get it off the ground again and it really gets going, you're going to see some guys that really shine and get a chance to jump over into the NFL, which I think is great. Usually what happens is you see some older guys that are coming to the end of their NFL careers and they squeeze out a couple more years in a league like this. But either way, obviously, you know, they're going to keep pushing till they get it right. So they're on the right track.
Remember when I was talking about the potential of having a game after the Super Bowl that was a big money matchup, and you know, as opposed to the Pro Bowl, which is, you know, a waste of everybody's time, you know. And I'm thinking as we move more toward this whole international thing, that there at some point could be, then the XFL would be someone who would put something like that together, where you'd have big money on one game, and it would be enough big money to bring in some serious players, and it could be pulling them in internationally, you know, because they're growing now. They're starting to feel themselves. So it'll
but it's gonna be a long time before we see that. You talking about a real all-star game of NFL all-stars against whoever?
But whoever wants to put up and who wants to go for that one. So let's say, for example, you have an OBJ, and all he getting offered is the league minimum, and all of a sudden there's one game and he can make 10 million. You know what I'm saying? One big game and you're bringing in top NFL, top football talent. There might be some people coming. You might have a mix of people.
Top football talent from where? Internationally and XFL?
From anywhere football players can come from. You got guys
Again,
now. They might be on the practice. You got the practice squads now. You start looking across practice squads, teams when they're bringing in serious X players, they stick them right on the practice squad till they're ready to bring them up. You know what I mean? So you got guys on the practice squad who can play, and right now they just on the practice squad. So I'm just saying, everybody's got their price. That's what I've heard. And if you make the price nice enough, you might have some people that want to come play in this particular big game. So
wait. I'm confused. Both teams are going to be a mix of players. So somebody's going to put together one team out of NFL, XFL, CFL, international, and somebody else is going to put together a team of NFL, XFL. You talking about something like that? 2 all-star teams of worldwide all-stars?
That's possible. I don't have it all thought out. I'm just saying.
Well, that's the only way it would be worthwhile to me.
I'm just saying the Pro Bowl was such a waste that, if you want to see one last serious slobber knocker football game, you would have to put up some serious money to have guys interested in playing that game and bringing in the top people that they could find for that game. So again, it could be under the auspices of the XFL where they put together some type of international bowl, or it could be all the different leagues. I don't know. I'm saying that one big game could happen.
I don't see NFL players getting involved in anything like that. I don't think the owners would let them. I don't think the NFLPA would allow that.
Again, you have a free agent like Beckham. Can't nobody tell him what to do.
Who cares?
Well, I'm just saying. You're saying
really care about Odell Beckham?
If he's a free agent, somebody's paying him, and somebody else offers him an opportunity like that, the NFL's
not
going
to stop him. For one game.
One game. Big money. I'm talking big money.
You gonna watch it?
Yeah.
I'm not watching that.
Okay. All right.
I'm not watching that. Hopefully the college guys will be still on. I'm not watching that. There's no intrigue in watching Odell Beckham and a bunch of Spanish guys and French guys. I'm not watching that.
Come on, man. Pierre know how to play football.
I didn't say he didn't.
There you go.
I'd rather watch the Grey Cup than watch that.
But you know something? I'm telling you,
CFL is exciting as hell.
Think about the international impact of players within the NFL right now, from Cameroon and Nigeria and all these places that you just don't think about as great football places, but they've got some serious high-level athletes coming out of places like that.
And that's why they're in the NFL.
Well, they're not all in the NFL.
Okay. Yeah, they are.
No, they're not all. The NFL only got so many spots. It's limited. That's what they call Russell, Mr. Unlimited. That's what they were calling him. I knew there was another name. I couldn't remember what it was for him. All right, that's enough, Ben. What do you got?
I'm done, man. Go Noles.
Go Noles.